being a Catholic, I think in my street, which was Whitgreave Avenue, was quite unusual. We were known as not the Catholic family, but the Irish family for quite a while, in my memory. I think the neighbours didn't quite know what we were about, because we used to troop off to church on a Sunday morning, like ducks in a row. And but we got to know them eventually, and and we had some good neighbours. But we were the Irish family for quite a while now. We started off with quite basic accommodation, quite humble, and we kind of progressed into Whitgreave. And when we moved there, it had trees lining both sides, and it was quite a lovely thing. And we had a lovely back garden, I remember, with a vegetable plot at the end. And my mother really wanted to keep it like that, but with 3 boys, that was never going to happen. We tore it up playing football, I'm afraid. We all went up to St. Chad's, and I think that was life-changing for me. My other brothers went to local schools, which were, a different proposition. They left with few qualifications, or much fewer qualifications when they were 15, but into jobs straight away, as you did in those days. But my mother had a chat with the head teacher of St. Chad's College, and he said that boys from Low Hill don't get to university. So she came home and said, right, you're going to university. Just on my estate, again, that otherness came in, because the local lads were going to Bushbury Hill School, Northcote School, and they were quite tough schools, and if you could become a target if they spotted you. So I got very good at hiding.
Because they could see you in the school uniform, I suppose.
In the school uniform, and there was a bit of animosity. And I was saying earlier that I was in the football team in secondary school, and the sports teacher said, right, I'm going to drive 3 boys up to Bushbury Hill for a friendly, and I use the word friendly advisedly, and the rest of you walk up. We walked up as the school was emptying. Bushbury Hill was emptying, and when they saw us, they just thought, great. So they beat us up, knocked us to the ground, kicked us, and then we went in and played this match, and there were lots of lads around the pitch saying, we're going to kill you afterwards. And that was, just of the times. In the 70s, football hooliganism was at its peak, I think. There was a commotion outside our house on Whitgreave Avenue, and a black lad had come down our road and was attacked by the local youths. And Don ran in and said, this is happening. My mother, who was sweeping at the front room with a broom, went out with the broom like a kendo master, and she fought off 5 of these assailants, and the young black lad ran down the road and away and escaped. And that, I think that was just an illustration of how monocultural the estate appeared to be. Initially, I think it was the idyllic. It was, my memory of it was very idyllic in the sense that very few cars. We played out on the road. We had a bit of chalk and marked out a very crude football pitch, and played football till the police panda cars used to come down the road. We used to jump behind the hedge and stay out the way. But, all of that was great. We had... we formed the B bikes. In the comics, there were the Q bikes. I think in the Beano or the Dandy, there were the Q bikes who had adventures. So my brothers and I and a few friends formed the B bikes, and we used to kind of cycle around the estate looking for adventures, but didn't find any. But that was great. But my brother's memory is that he was chased a lot, and he learned to run very fast. There was a gang down one end of the road. There's a gang on the other end of the road. And he said he was a 100-meter champion when he was in year 7 or 8. He did under 12 seconds because he was always running away from people. In my mother's family, one of her eldest brother in Wolverhampton, my Uncle Bob, one of his jobs was as a window cleaner, and he's quite well known around the Low Hill estate, various houses and pubs he'd do, but also Shell Circus Library. And I got a Saturday job with him, and my job was to carry the A ladder, the A-shaped ladder, and do some of the windows that he directed me to do, maybe the ones not so high up. But I remember going into the library and I was trying to do the higher windows. They're not top windows, but the clear story windows. And I propped up the ladder on, in my memory, it was a parquet floor. It's a polished floor. And as I went up the ladder, it slid from underneath me. I landed on my face in the library, but I was just embarrassed. And I just imagined the people in the library going, shh. Some of our neighbours were really lovely people. I mean, there was a guy up the road who'd help you tune up your bike. You know, someone else could find you a car if you had the money.
The Star Comet. This was a car that was built in Bushbury on Shoal Lane. I'll just pass this over to you, Tim, so that you can see that beautiful looking car. And there would have been all that skill, knowledge, expertise here in Low Hill, and that was the first car that was manufactured in the Black Country. I think it's called a Comet.
It's really beautiful, isn't it?
It looks really beautiful, and that was made here in Low Hill. So again, what a place of ingenuity and effort, of people here. At the end of the day, I think those guys did that, and no doubt the community now can go on and do other things. That's a fantastic achievement for them.